Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you, you guys. I appreciate you. We're going to start with the singing bowl, and then we're going to get into Aquarius's reading, okay? So let's go down to the singing bowl. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen, divine energy guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages of healing and protection reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace and express their own divine energy for the highest and most loving good. As we walk on this path of love, healing, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith in the holy light of love. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. We're using the Terra Animal Oracle. It's a Terra Oracle deck. And this is the deck, you guys. And it has different sections in it. So I will be reading most of those sections. These have been a little longer. The first card out's going to be where you're going, where you're at. The second card's where you're going or where you desire to go. Third card is your first step. The fourth card is a strength. The fifth card is going to be a weakness. Oh, sorry, you guys. I am stuffed up. Seasonal changes and just muck. All right, Aquarius. We got balance. The stingray. Trying to be balanced. Are in balance, maybe. Maintaining a balance. Some of these messages, you guys, have been kind of what I call tough love messages. So, you know, if you aren't doing shadow work, just leave it at the door. But some of them are really asking us, almost all of them actually, are asking us to go really, really deep, and do some more work. Okay, let's see where you're going here, or desire to go. Well, we got two cards, guys. So, okay. Balance is really important right now for you, Aquarius, because it seems the direction you could be pursuing something. This could be peace. This could be happiness. This could be love. This could be fun. This could be anything. And it's like you're pursuing something here, and it could cause you to overindulge or overdo. So it's something to be mindful for of where you're headed right now. So if you find yourself, you know, taking a load off, going out for the weekend, this is just an example, you guys, or something like that, be mindful of what you are pursuing. You could be looking for something specifically like inside, and this has kind of been a message through the readings. You could be looking for something through your inner, you know, something you feel you're lacking, and then we try to compensate for our feelings of whatever it is, our emotions, you know, and we try to numb them, or we try to make ourselves feel better by eating or shopping or something, when really we just are pursuing something else that's deeper, and we really want something else, but we go for that temporary fix rather than that long-term, the long-term, okay? That has been a message, and that is kind of coming through here. Let's see what the first step is here. Really filling something out here. If you're trying to remain balanced, even though you're in a heavy pursuit of something, but there is a, so there's two things, two messages with this balance. Okay, this is balancing your well-being too, and with indulgence it can be overdoing it, or it can be taking care of yourself better, trying to be more balanced in the way you take care of yourself. Now if so this can go two ways. One, you're trying not to throw yourself off balance by pursuing things you don't need, or two, you are pursuing something and you may be pursuing something for the wrong reasons and overindulging in the process. So let's see what your first step is. Talent. Okay, using your talents, using something you already have to create more balance. And maybe, you know, you could be even looking or seeking out something to do more with your talent. And it's just saying, you know, make sure it's healthy and balanced in what you're going for here to utilize your talents here. Ingenuity. Being clever and smart. This could be also not being overly, like, how do I put this? Overly, the word that wants to come out is like arrogant, but overly indulgent in yourself too. It feels like you feel pretty strongly that you can, let's see here, discovery. Okay. And the weak spot is power. Okay. I feel like you're really trying to make something work here. I think this is saying you need to remain balanced. You need to stay balanced. If you're in if this resonates, because there is a kind of either a power struggle or a feeling of overdoing it, over indulging, over pursuing, over seeking, maybe not taking pleasure in the moment and seeking the next thing or whatever. And there's some kind of talent. We're going to read this talent real quick, which is the next step, which is the toucan. All right. Let's see here. Talent management. What are your talents and how are you putting them to use? Yeah. Feels like you could be misusing your talents or putting too much into something or not putting enough into something, because there's some kind of maybe seeking something here for what you want and not what you need. The toucan shows up when you need a reminder that you have a priceless gift to offer the world. Choosing not to share it would be a tragic waste. You could be keeping something to yourself here, holding on to some kind of talent or power you have in a situation for your own reasons, and you would know those reasons, but that can be indulgent and kind of self-serving. Now, I will read all these sections so we can kind of get a more feel of like what this means in regards to the balance and the power, balancing the power, using your power to balance something out. There's some kind of power or talent you have that you can bring to a situation or something in your life here that you may not be doing in, like, it feels like you could be doing that kind of like doing things behind the scenes instead of like for people or with people or bringing it to the table. You know, I feel like almost doing something behind the scenes. It could be because of some kind of self-indulgence. We could be talking about pursuing your own happiness or your own freedom or something like that without, because that's power, especially if this is involving other people. It's interesting, the energy coming off this. These have been really strange energies coming through. It's just really focusing in on kind of like some, yeah, it's just feeling kind of like I said, tough love. Maybe the things we don't want to hear, but we need to hear, the stuff that's hard to chew on, that we need to chew on because there's growth in it for us. The uncomfortable things we don't want to admit about ourselves or our situation that we need to in order to grow and expand and really self-reflect in an honest way. So that's what these messages have been about, and they aren't letting up, you guys. The toucan's incredible beak isn't just visually appealing, it's quite useful. This keratin bill is necessary for their diet, allowing them to pluck and peel the fruit they eat. Without it, they would starve. If you choose not to utilize your talents, you too will suffer. Perhaps not immediately, but over time. The toucan urges you to make what you love and your talents the center of your life. Make what you love the center of your life. Not what you want, but what you, like, there's been this feeling of going after things we, like, desire or want versus what we know we need, and also seeking something new or better or more when there's something right there in front of us that is what we need, and we need to appreciate it and stop and appreciate it. The Master of One. While the toucan has a large and useful beak, this is the next section, you guys. Their wings aren't quite as helpful. Small for their body, they don't allow this bird to spend much time in the air. They can fly, just not for long. But that doesn't stop the toucan. Its wings were good enough for what they need, and they just hop between branches and the rest of the time. You aren't being asked to be the jack of all trades. It isn't possible to be an expert at everything. This card propels you to find a specific talent, what you are good at, and direct your energy there. Not going after too many things at once, you guys. Maybe focusing on too many goals at one time instead of just one, is the message coming from this paragraph. And it says, strive to pick something and practice it, perfect it. Specialization is your friend now. Whatever your chosen talent is, be a student willing to learn everything you can. Being willing to learn everything you can, and focus in on one thing, that can bring balance in, especially if you're going into some energy that is scattered because you're pursuing too many things at once. That's another message coming in, you guys. So the next paragraph is give it time. We got balance in the middle here. Give it time. The toucan isn't born with a vibrant beak. It takes many months for this iconic appendage to grow in. Talent isn't about natural born ability. Very few people succeed because of what they are naturally great at. And most aren't naturally great at anything. Talent is discovering what you love and what you're willing to commit your time and energy towards. Pour yourself into what you love. Dedicate yourself to be better than you are now. The toucan comes when you either need to be reminded of the importance of the path you've chosen, or as a signal that you haven't chosen a path at all. Life really is short. That's why everyone says it. Neglecting your talents and wasting your time on something you don't care about is a sad story to tell. It's kind of what I'm feeling here. You could be trying to pursue too much at once, or pursuing maybe something that is not what you love, but just out of a need for saying I have it or I want it. That's what I'm getting here with that. The ecosystem is the cicada, and it says talent takes practice, and it's not going to come like overnight, you guys. Whatever this is going to require that you take time to pursue it in a balanced way, not overtaking on, I feel like or skipping any steps, because you just want to get from A to B. That's been another message through these readings, you guys, is paying attention to the in-betweens, between the black and the white, between the lines, between the words, that kind of energy. The cicadas, talent takes practice. Practice requires rhythm. This prey reminds you to focus on your talents every day, or you will never hone them. You will need to water it every day for it to grow. This is being dedicated to something, but not overindulgent on it. Pursuing something, as in one specific thing you love and want to achieve and want to learn more about, and not scattering your energy or over over scheduling, over preparing, or over compensating too. I'm getting that. The woodpecker. Did you know that the woodpecker and the toucan are related? These two industrious birds share the ability to do serious work with their beak. You won't hone your talents without initiative. This is going to require you to do some work. This is going to require you to be mindful of what you're putting your energy into, if you're doing it in a balanced way, and if you're focusing on what you love, not just what you seek or desire. This has been a big energy of like what we desire and what we actually need for nourishment to grow in our souls. Don't spin in circles trying to decide what it is you should be chasing after. That's what I'm feeling. And the energy coming in is going in circles, pursuing something in circles. And it's just causing it's very non-productive. If that's this part for you. It says you won't hone your talents without initiative. Don't spin in circles trying to decide what it is you should be chasing after. Put some thought in. But at some point, you will need to commit and get going. Yeah, not running in circles, pursuing things that have no nourishment for you or you don't love. Yeah, I'm getting that. Talent is a dull knife that will cut nothing unless it is wielded with great force. Stephen King said that. Awesome. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go here to this ingenuity, which is a strong point, and it's the raccoon. Okay, problem solving, trying to figure something out here. The raccoon is known as nature's bandit, and one reason is their incredible ability to find a way to get what they want. You could be really trying to get what you want and running in circles trying to get what you want instead of focusing in on what really needs to be done, the process, the between the black and white, trying to rush something or trying to jump right in and have everything be done without putting in the work or mastering your energy towards this. And this is all centered around balance. So there's something here that needs balanced or you need to look at as imbalance. So it says if this nocturnal animal wants to get into your trash or garage, they are pretty good at finding a way. The raccoon's ingenuity comes from being forced to adapt around the human. The raccoon that lives in the city, surrounded by obstacles, is more likely to be a pro at opening a trash can lid. We cannot be problem solvers without a problem to solve. This card could be a sign that you can do more. Yes, okay. Instead of seeing problems as impenetrable, the raccoon asks you to take what is challenging you and find an ingenious way to get past it. And that is in your strong point. So you could be a very good problem solver. There just needs to be more focus in on what you're actually wanting. Are you trying to solve a problem that you can't contribute to? Yeah, or it just feels like, I don't know, it's very interesting. A clever mask. But this little critter doesn't just look like bandits. They stay on brand with their tricky nature. Their masks serve an important purpose, allowing them to see at night without glare. What tools do you have that will enable you to see clearly? The raccoon in your reading could signal that your vision is obstructed. This has been kind of the energy for this month with this, my Portals of Presence card that I pull every month. It's a very veiled, kind of blind energy, blind spots. That's what this month is about, is seeing any blind spots we have, guys. A traditional approach and implementation won't get you to your goal. Ingenuity is about the ability to pivot, to maneuver in a way that allows you to tackle the impossible. Refrain from the urge to move on or away from what intimidates you. You could be going in circles around something, and it's not getting you to your goal here. There's something imbalanced here about the way you're pursuing something, and there's a need to use your natural problem-solving skills, talent to achieve something here. Have you ever seen the raccoon putting its paw in their food or water? They aren't washing their hands. So why put your hands in your food? The raccoon's paws consist of remarkable sensory cells that allow it to gather information about objects by touching and handling them. At this time, you will benefit from participating in sensory experiences. If you are working with a project digitally, print it out. If you are struggling with emotions, write them down. Create art around them. If you are feeling disconnected, spend time immersed in nature to learn to play an instrument. The raccoon's ingenuity comes from their inclination to manipulate what they don't like. You can't shape what you can't feel. Yeah, you have to kind of go into this and see what feels, how it's feeling to you. This is the pursuit, the blood hand goes by that. The smell, so does this shark. It's all sensory. This is a very sensory, and the stingray also. It's just using your skills and talents in the sensory, sensing what you need to do next, and actually doing it, taking initiative to do it. The ecosystem is the coyote and the hound is in your reading, so that's probably definitely part of this, and I'm going to read the hound for sure. Ingenuity is invoked in pursuit of a solution or the realization of an idea, but don't get lost on the trail. That's what I'm feeling. A square peg won't fit in a round hole, no matter how many times you turn it around. So you may be really, really determined to solve a problem or to get something, to attain something. This could be coming from a indulgent or a place that's not, it could be kind of greedy, or it could be just overindulgent, too much. Like you don't need that. You don't need to pursue this, or you don't need to, or this just isn't what you need, like nourishment wise. It could be what you want, but it's not what you need. So it could be something kind of that's feeling like it's taking you off balance. I don't want to write formula. Every book is different, which takes a hell of a lot of ingenuity. And that's Sue Grafton. Let's go ahead and go to that hound real quick. Okay. The hound may be man's faithful companion, but he is the one with the extraordinary senses. He tells the human where to go. The human's powerful mind is not always the most loyal guide. This card urges you to trust your instincts and be sure not to let your mind work alone. Blind spot. When the hound has its nose to the ground, the droopy skin around the eyes falls forward, creating blinders. This lets them focus only on what lies directly in front of them. What are you focused on at the time? Are you really like almost obsessively working on something or trying to fix something, solve something, make something happen that just isn't feeling, even like if you were to really be honest with your feelings about it, is it just not resonating, and it's just, now you're just pursuing it just to get it. It kind of feels like Five of Swords energy, you guys. This card asks you to think about what your keen senses are leading you in pursuit of. If you find yourself actively working towards a goal, which I feel like you are, keep your eyes on the prize. And this also gathers the question of, is it something you want or something you need? And is it worth focusing on and leaving all other distractions, or is it worth directly pursuing? Because that's another thing with the shark. It goes straight in it goes right into the depth of its prey, and it comes straight up and gets it. There's no beating around the bush, and that's kind of what this feels like a beating around the bush. So there could be a need to use your tools or your talents for communication, to creatively and ingeniously problem solve here, to create some kind of balance that you could be seeking right now. We are going to read that stingray, but this is the one that's popping out. It says, when you're aware of the path you are following, the pursuit becomes less arduous and confusing. However, be careful that you aren't so focused on what you are striving towards that you lose sight of what is around you. There's a fine line between focus and a blind spot. Filling the in-between, not just focusing on it, but what is it doing? Is it causing you to feel imbalanced? Is it causing you to feel unhealthy maybe? Or like you are you feeling those feelings of overindulgence or greed, or like you're pursuing something that's just too much, like it's like it's feeling of like having enough. Let's go ahead and go to this power, which is the weak spot with the great white. Okay. All right. And it's the sea turtle and the otter. You don't get what you don't ask for. Sophia Amoruso. Okay, the great white comes to us when we need to reflect on our relationship with power. This animal often conjures up scary images that ask, are you afraid of your own power? Fear around owning our full potential, and that could be owning your full potential with talent here. It's like you need to apply something here. Maybe put in extra towards just one thing, not disperse your energy kind of around the situation, but right to it. Right to the goal, or right to the thing here. Fear around owning our full potential can come from a place that we don't fully understand. Frequently, anxiety around authority figures and power structures is connected to issues of respecting our own authority. When you feel comfortable owning yourself, your space, and your potential, your relationship with power around you will change. Who or what have you allowed to let you question your worth? You are a force to be reckoned with. When you respect your own power, others will follow suit. Yeah, you could be even pursuing, this could even be somebody else represented here, this pig energy, this indulgence, somebody who maybe is indulgent or something. And it's like, you may need to address something here, some kind of situation. It says, how does this massive predator own its place at the top of the food chain? For starters, they don't look down, they look up. So staying optimistic about the goal or the pursuit, but also narrowing it down to the one pursuit, and also self-reflecting on whether it's something you need. Like, it's not even a need. It doesn't even feel like a need. It just feels like for the reasons you're doing it. It feels like an intention thing. When they are ready to attack, they don't just passively swim towards prey. This is what I'm getting. Not to passively do something, but to go straight in and hone in on the skills or the talents or the ingenuity, problem-solving skills you already have to attain something direct. Going directly to it to balance something out here. It is a message to look up and aim higher. This card says that you aren't asking enough from yourself. It is the message to look up and aim higher. And when you see what you want, don't hold back. You are being encouraged to use your power to speed towards what you want at full speed. I am feeling that strongly in this message. It's not about beating around the bush or doing this behind the scenes. It's about going straight to what you want and creating some kind of balance here. Some kind of balance trying to be attained here. Let's go to the stingray, the center of the reading. Wrong one, guys. Stingray, one basket. This is I'm going to read all four of these so you can kind of get an idea of what resonates with you. But one basket is the first section, and it says, with eyes on the top of their body and a mouth on the bottom, the stingray can't see their prey. It's interesting because it's very different from this. It's kind of the same but different than this shark. The stingray can't see their prey, at least not while eating it. So how do they catch and consume it? They pursue it by their senses. They fill it out. That's what I'm getting. This animal is fitted with electrical senses that allow it to sense where things are around them. This card reminds you that everything doesn't and shouldn't be in one place. It should be in balance. Don't keep all of your eggs in one basket. If you have been flooding time, energy, and like I said from the beginning, this feels like it could go either way, like putting all of this energy into one thing and it's causing you to overindulge and be imbalanced, or you're not pursuing something with, you're either not pursuing something with balance or you're putting too much. I was feeling this. But it says the stingray encourages you to learn the art of equilibrium. Like a game of Jenga, if you keep taking from one side, your tower is bound to topple. With things in moderation, you will be better equipped to tap into your world around you. Meet in the middle is the next section. The stingray asks you to think about the most important balancing act of self versus other. How do you establish balance in your relationships? The stingray is a solitary animal, but will come together with others to breed and migrate. Maintaining a healthy balance between socializing and disconnecting, giving and taking is a critical skill. This card asks you to reflect on how you differentiate yourself from those around you. And at the same time, it asks you to reflect on how you converge with others when necessary. It feels like that feels like it's ringing true to like needing to go straight in and converge with others or communicate with others or be more direct when you could be. This has been an energy through these readings. It's like disassociating or disconnecting from uncomfortable things or things that could be uncomfortable, and facing our fears about that uncomfort, and also how we handle discomfort. Do we avoid, or do we go in and, go through the uncomfortable feelings and kind of feel what's in between? Because this is a very in-between time. I know I'm feeling it in the energy. It asks you to reflect on how you converge with others when necessary. The terms introvert and extrovert paint a black and white picture of human socialization. A balanced person utilizes both behaviors, both personalities, knowing when each is called for. Sensing something here and not going in too much on something, but not abandoning something either, a project or a goal or a relationship or whatever this is. This is really going to require you to use your talent for problem solving. This feels like a problem solving thing. And then the next one's line in the sand. The unusual flat shape of the stingray that attracts attention through the water actually helps them to disappear on the ocean floor. With their flat, low bodies, these animals mesh into the sand, allowing them to remain camouflaged when they wish to go unseen. Know when to bend and when to stand down. The stingray cautions against obsessing or fixating on one thing. By keeping yourself in total alignment, you will be able to see both sides fairly. You will know when it is best to retreat to the ocean floor to see what's above your head. That's what you need to do. With the shark here, this being in the weak spot, you need to pull away from something here to gain more perspective on it. See if it's something you're actually pursuing, for one, your intentions behind pursuing it. And it's interesting. Refrain from burying yourself too deeply into one perspective, idea, or emotion at this time. If you have stirred up waves around you, it's best to restore balance and calm. The Great White is the ecosystem card to this, and I'm going to read that. It says, balance is power, but so often the quest for power stems from excess and imbalance, and excess is in where you're headed. You may be pursuing too much here. I was feeling that, like going for more than what you need, trying to take more than what you need. You need to pull back from something, it feels like, and approach something differently, maybe. After looking at it and reflecting on it, that's what I'm getting. And it says, this predator reminds you that you will be at your full potential when the many pieces of your life are sorted and stored correctly. Additionally, it says that the potential negativity of power often stems from imbalance. There's some kind of negative power here. And like, this can always go vice versa, you guys, whatever the situation this is in your life. But when things are not in harmony, when we refrain from taking things to their extreme, you could be pursuing something to an extreme, overdoing it, over pursuing, overindulging. And you need to step back and use your natural talents to problem solve here. Natural, not external things, not seeking something externally to bring you balance, but to bring it in yourself from what you are here. It says, when we refrain from taking things to their extreme, we are better equipped to use our inner power to positively affect the world around us. I have my mantra about silhouette, proportion, and fit. When they are in harmony and balance, you'll look great in anything. And Tim Gunn said that. Now I'm going to read I'm going to look at the pig here. Let's face it. Okay. If taken too far, the pig can warn of the pitfalls of overindulging. This animal is known to be able to eat almost anything from animals to plants to even garbage. And we do have the raccoon here, which can dig in a trash can with no problem, eat garbage with no problem. This is about pulling back from something that you may be pursuing like really intensely that may not be good for you, and sensing how it's throwing you off balance, how it's making you feel imbalanced, something like that, you guys. That's what I'm getting. If they're hungry, anything is fair game. It could be at a time when you're feeling like, I hate to use the word desperate, but you could be feeling really desperate for trying to balance something out in yourself and seeking it through external pursuit of something. That's what I'm getting, you guys. Don't kill the messenger. Don't be angry about the messages. They've been, like I said, pretty tough, you guys. But if this is your message, you can appreciate it. And if it doesn't trigger you, that's good. You're doing the work and you have no problem looking at these things honestly. If you do, then you're just not there yet, okay? It says, if you continue to deprive yourself... hold on. If they're hungry, anything is fair game. Be sure that you aren't dining on just anything because you're spiritually starved. Yeah, and this is going in and finding something that's yours, and it's not somebody else's, and it's not seeking external validation, and it's not trying to force something or push something. It's something within yourself that you can bring up to the surface to balance something out here. It says, if you continue to deprive yourself and push past your limits, over time you run the risk of indulging in things like overeating, laziness, and negative thoughts. What makes indulgences meaningful is its careful incorporation into our lives. The giant chocolate bar is a treat only when it's something you don't usually have. Take a proactive approach and keep your life in balance to avoid tarnishing your indulgences by taking them to the extreme. Whatever this is you're pursuing, it feels like you're extremely pursuing it, and it feels like there's a need to pull back and retreat and then use your proper use of power. And also, there's just this feeling. This predator, the crocodile is one of the ecosystems of the pig, and it is the predator warns of exactly what can cause us to overindulgence. Repressing thoughts, ideas, emotions, and intentions. I was getting the intentions is a breeding ground for developing unhealthy habits. Don't let emotional buildup lead to indulging in negative behaviors. Okay, you guys, so that is what we're getting here. There's something here I feel like that is feeling out of balance because you could be overdoing something, over pursuing something, or just running in circles around the same idea or the same thought or the same feelings, guys. Pick one of those thoughts or one of those feelings or one of those goals and focus in on that after retreating from it to get a bigger picture of why you're pursuing something, the intention behind it. Okay, that's what I'm getting from this message. Let's get one of these animal cards, you guys. Very nice. This one here. The moth. Okay, we got the moth energy in the Aquarius energy right now. Let's go ahead and read that. This is can be about pursuing stuff too here. The moth pursues something, even till its own death, it will pursue something. The moth is one of my my first, besides so the owl has been my spirit totem or guardian through my whole life. It's like I'd say it's like my soul animal. But I didn't know. I just loved owls since the time I was young, forever. And I didn't know really why either. They're just majestic, beautiful birds. And I knew they were like night birds. And I've kind of always been a night person. Not so much anymore, but definitely the first spirit animal that really showed itself and gave me a message was the moth. And it actually showed itself to me once way back, and I ignored it. I actually killed the moth. And this is actually quite emotional story for me. And I won't get into it here, but then it resurfaced after my more conscious awakening and awakening more. And I took the full message from it, and I came to peace with my resistance against the way I pursued things emotionally and the way I seeked after things emotionally and how it was hurting me and destructive. So the moth has a very close place to my heart. So it's very moths, butterflies, and I have a thing for the underdogs, okay? Like the moths being kind of the underdogs of the butterfly, and the pigeon being kind of the underdog of the dove. I always kind of have a place in my heart for the And that's kind of part of the moth energy too, is kind of, yeah, it's very interesting. Getting a lot with that, just from my own experience and wisdom with the moth. But there's a lot there, so I don't know if that helps somebody, but it might. Let's read this moth from the book. It says, impulsive, hasty, and wishful. You could be really pursuing something that you're wishing for, or impulsive. It could be even impulsively indulging or impulsively seeking something instead of stepping back from it and seeing what you're actually pursuing here. Is it something that's good for you or not? Is it something you're just like tink, 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 like pursuing relentlessly, without any deep reflection about what it is you're actually gaining from it, or why are you pursuing something? Is it something external of yourself? You're seeking external validation or external something here. There's something deep in your own talents that you can bring forward here to help you balance something out here. It says the moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions. And the easy solution is, of course, if this isn't working, I go directly to this. Instead of figuring out, is this not working because of something, the way I'm perceiving it, or the way I'm feeling it, or the way I'm reacting to my feelings, or is it not working because it's just really not in alignment for me? Really doing that self-reflection. That's a very strong moth energy. It's also not about going to the quick, easy solution. It's about using your ingenuity. It's about using your problem solving, not just thinking the problem is in the problem, but how is this a problem, and what contribution do I have to this? And if this is something I really want, am I willing to do the work to achieve my goal, and instead of taking shortcuts or thinking there's a quicker, easier way, when it could mean really getting in there. It says, we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new, being sidetracked, from what we're actually wanting or what we're actually trying to do here, maybe subconsciously trying to balance out within the self. That's what this reading is really feeling like a subconscious balancing out. And this have, like I said, been about blind spots. The card of the month, you guys, that I pulled for September, and I'm going to show you this because it's coming through profoundly in your reading. The last 2 months, in July and August, it was like a moon face, and this is the face for this month. And this is speaking volumes about these readings. It feels like just being blinded by this web of misunderstanding ourselves, or misunderstanding our why we're going for something, or why we're doing something, or how we handle being uncomfortable, or how we handle things when we can't see the final result, or it's just a very it just feels very like kind of Neptunian. It's a strong energy in the readings too. It says, no matter the illusion, as I was just saying that, it says it's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. To finish projects, not quit something in the middle of a project or lose interest in it just because it might require some self-reflection or some work on your part, you guys. It says, no matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, it's enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, it idolizes others and it's jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. And this could be just doing something to ground your energy and focus in on your energy by doing something seriously with a talent you have, or writing, creating something, to get you off of pursuing kind of in a circle of, I feel like, that frenzy energy. So that is what I got from the moth there. So let's go ahead and get a card from the White Light Oracle, you guys. We got the Sacred Scar, okay? Something here deep, working on something deep here. All right. Your inner and outer scars are marks of your soul's courage. They are signs of strength and survival, of your willingness to be alive. The sacred scar speaks of that which once caused pain being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Trauma shall be transformed through spiritual initiations, leading you from woundedness to wisdom. You have nothing to be ashamed of. So it's really, that's speaking clearly that whatever this is, you may even feel, gosh, like it's like almost like something has had a grip on you, or maybe if you are pursuing something that has this pull towards you, it's saying there's nothing to be, this is teaching you, initiating you, because this could be something you're pursuing, like to try to heal something, or try to not not feel pain, you know, like it's interesting. You could be distracting yourself from going through the kind of painful initiations. That's another message, you guys. It says, being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. The sacred scar speaks of that which once caused pain being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Inner power. Something here is happening so you can find your true inner power in a situation or something, solve some problem. And the problem feels within, and it feels like something being, like the possibility there is to reveal to you what it is that's kind of giving you that blind spot. It's interesting. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can trust your healing process and in the hidden higher purpose behind things happening as they do. You are strong and you shall flourish on all levels. And I love these. These are encouraging messages to get you through whatever energy you're going through right now, you guys. Some experiences are hard to weather, even when our intention is to trust. Going through a challenging time is likely to give rise to suffering. Consider the mother eagle raising her precious eaglets into a sanctuary of meticulously padded and fiercely defended nest. They know safety and comfort until one day the mother who provided unceasing nurturance abruptly pushes them out of the nest and into the air. That's interesting. She knows this is how they will learn that they can fly, because this talent, this bird, said it spends most of its time on the ground, and probably when it's in the air, it can't stay in the air for long, which that's like the mental, it's saying, it's teaching you something about some kind of mental tool you can use to pull yourself away from something that's could be blinding you, could be pulling you forward on something, when you need to pull back and check the intention and check the process of getting there. And also focus, you know, there's a focusing energy. It says you don't have to enjoy the process of growth, but you can always trust it has your best interest at heart. However, do not confuse negative, especially traumatic experiences as something Spirit has inflicted on you. Spirit would love your growth to happen in the most joyful and peaceful ways possible. As your relationship to Spirit heals and strengthens, this can be the way you grow more often than not. However, Spirit also knows that sometimes we are to move through intense experiences before we can gain access to the light. That's what I'm feeling. Like this could be quite intense, realizing that maybe you've been pursuing something indulgently or over pursuing something when you need to pursue something within and work on something inside. There it does feel like something deep here, and it could be bring you to kind of that realization. It could even be facing that you've tried to swat away kind of the lessons of something when the lessons are there, right there for you to utilize. And there's something here in the moment to balance out. This oracle, the sacred scar, lets you know that your greatest struggles are the pathway to your potential. You are not being punished. Those circumstances have not been imposed upon you by Spirit. If there's something here eluding you, maybe you can't catch, it's not Spirit doing that. There's something else here about negatively pursuing something or seeing something as good for you when it's not, or something like that, you guys, is what I'm getting. Some kind of veil kind of being lifted right now for you. The Spirit will work with you to free you of negativities and bring you into the light, stimulating the sacred alchemical wisdom within your heart that knows how to distill goodness, grace, and healing from even the most terrible experiences. If you are deep in suffering now, know that Spirit is with you, loving you, and bringing you this oracle. You shall heal. Do not give up. proceed until you are exactly where you most want to be. You have the inner spirit to ensure even a negative experience will only cause positive growth in you and your life. I do love that, because if you're pursuing something, especially externally, and it's something inside that can bring you peace and love and joy, but you're finding it in external things, or you think you can find it in external things, there is a feeling here of needing to pull back away from a certain thought, a certain feeling that may be consuming or taking over your natural talent to problem solve here and to find your own power within the moment. And it's coming from within, and it's coming from spirit. It's not coming from something outside of yourself. That's what I'm getting. So that is your guys' message today, and I hope it helps somebody. And as always, I appreciate you guys coming, watching your video, your likes, your subscribes. You guys, I'm very excited. We're at 100. That's a huge milestone, and I appreciate you all. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.